it every day. When I was studying calligraphy, the thing that fascinated me the most and sort of blew my mind was when I realized that every single one of our letters is first of all a symbol, okay? So we're actually using symbols. We sort of forget that. We just sort of, it's the alphabet. It's we sort of like, no, just the alphabet. A, B, C, D, right? Okay. It's not just the alphabet. Every single one of those letters is a symbol. And every single one of those symbols represents a dynamic activity within life. Either a dynamic act of creation or a dynamic act in which the human being is implicitly involved. Okay? So anyway, so this is what I was so enthralled by it. When something impresses me, I have to do something with it. And here I had to do this with it. And I wanted to make it look old, so that's why I brought it in so you could see it today. Because I wanted to make it look old, so I got this, the clay, and I worked the clay, and then I did all of the things in the clay, and then colored all the things. I'm a bit nuts, right? If you didn't know before, now you know. Okay. And I really, really got into it because I wanted to feel each one of these symbols, and I wanted to experience each one of these symbols as a process, and understand the process that symbol went through the 3 or 5 millennia, because most of these symbols go back 5,000 years. They're 5,000 years old or older, right? We find them on rock gravings, we find them in whatever. But what do they mean? Okay? So we want to look at the meaning of them. That's going to change your relationship. Right? We want to change our relationship with words, with the written word, and start feeling the symbols, feeling the energy that goes behind the word. Okay, so each letter represents a dynamic process. So what you're going to do is to take out your journals. I see most of you already have it out, which is great. And I'm going to go through the letters. I also have a handout. But again, what the focus is for you now to draw the letter dynamically, to get into the energy of it. And I'm like, okay, so it's just our baby steps, okay? But I figured let's do something that we all do every day, which is write letters, okay? But now let's have a different experience of that letter writing. Okay, so we're going to start with the letter A. Okay, so everybody draw the letter A. And just feel as you draw the letter A. I'm going to ask you to draw it a few times as we go through the feeling of the letter A. So the letter A, initially, okay, we can see how it could represent the head of a bull. Okay. Everybody see that? Okay. So the head of a bull. Okay. But was it the head of a bull? No. It was much more than that. We can also see that the letter A is also the shape of the plow. Also the shape of whatever blade or instrument we would use to put into the earth, to turn the earth, to plow the earth, to open the earth, to break the mud. Right? So when the Egyptians or the Phoenicians, all of these ancient cultures wrote the ancestor of the letter A, they were talking about the whole process of breaking the earth, planting seed, having that seed grow. That's what A is. A is it's the first thing a nomadic tribe would do when they would arrive in a new place, right? What's the first thing you do? The actual first thing you do is you plant your seeds. Because a day or two difference of those seeds sprouting makes a big difference of whether you're going to have enough to eat by the end of your stay, right? So the first thing you do is you break the earth. You break the earth, you plant the seed, and then you see also, as you're breaking that earth, what that earth is like. Is this something that is this an area that can sustain us? Are we in the right place, even? Okay? If I dig the earth and I realize it's only clay or that it's only sand, it's not going to sustain us. We better not put up our tents or make our shelters, right? We better move on until we can find earth that can sustain us. So it's sustenance. So A is support, sustenance, breaking the earth. So I want you to feel that process now. You see the difference of a process? Okay? It's not a thing, it's not a bull, it's not it's not the bull or the man or the plow or it's all of those together. What is the man, the plow, the earth, and the seed, and that whole process? What does that feel like in you? What's your relationship to that? You see the A there in ancient Egypt. That letter A is so basic to the earliest civilization. It's all there. Okay? So tilling the earth. So this process is the whole process of planting new seeds. The whole process of being received, because there's in each of these symbols, what's beautiful about a symbol, it's not a one-way thing. It's not, I do this to you. You see, that's subject-object. I do this to the earth. I come in and I plow the earth. That's me, subject, plow the earth as object. You see? Okay? That is our distorted way of thinking. Okay, that's to the extent that our distortion has happened. You cannot plant seed without the earth letting you plant seed. Sorry. No. The earth is opening itself up to allow you to plant the seed. The earth is working with you, the plow is working with you, and the ox are working with you. You're all working together to open up the earth and plant the seed. It's a process, okay, that is a whole process involving all of those parts. And completely involves all of those parts that are all essential to that process. Otherwise, that process doesn't happen. Okay, so how can we feel that process? Because when we think of it in parts. We think of it in a linear way. We think of it as separate pieces. We think of it as subject-object. But can we feel that process in a way that we feel all of it? Okay. Can we feel that process so that we actually feel the special warmth that is in seeds? If you've ever planted seeds, they're warm in a strange way. You can feel their energy. They're alive. Even after 2,000 years or 3,000 years, they found grains of rice from ancient Egypt that they could plant and still grow. Right? What kind of energy is in the seed? Because that energy that's in the seed is also in the letter A. It's an important part of it. If there's no energy in the seed, does planting happen? If you're planting dead seed, it's not a process anymore, isn't it? Okay? It's not planting. So planting also involves the aliveness of the seed, the energy of the seed, the energy of the earth that has the capacity to support and nourish that seed, right? And then the energy of the human being and the ox that are opening the earth so that it can receive the seed, right? You see how it's a worshipping. Right? Plowing isn't work then, it's a worshipping. It's a worshipping of the energy of the earth, a worshipping of the energy of the seed, a worshipping of the ox that pulls, it's, right? That all of this is happening in this sacred dance called making food, growing food. And then the seed coming up, right? Which is one of the most miraculous things that we can imagine, to have this little seed, tiny little seed that looks just like a little, pebble or piece of dust, right? And then all of a sudden it turns into this living organism, with leaves and flowers and stem, and right, that's growing towards the sun, that responds, and that has minerals in it and has elements in it that weren't in the seed. And even if you were to take that seed, analyze it chemically to the last element, right? Make a list of all those elements that are in the seed. I've done a full chemical analysis of the seed. And you take that seed and you put it in distilled water, where it doesn't have any other elements either. The sprout that comes out of that has elements that weren't in the water and that weren't in the seed, that are actually produced through the energy of the sun in the plant. That's what we call an alchemical miracle, people. There's a miracle in this. There's a miracle happening in this. We should be in awe of every seedling that comes out. We should be in awe of every seed, right? Because they're awesome. They're really awesome. Right? So this is what just the letter A is. Is all of that together. Okay, you get the sense of that now? I want you to sit in the energy of A. Huh? Okay? The energy of A. And then capture whatever you can capture. See what feeling you have in you. Okay? There's no right or wrong, we're just exploring, okay? But in this sitting at this energy of A, of this planting of the seed growing, of the earth, what do you feel? What do you experience? What is that energy like? Just write that in your journal.